This is One on One. One on One is pleased to welcome Jen Kerns. She is a Republican strategist. She contributes to The Hill, the Daily Caller. You've seen her on Fox News, MSNBC, Bloomberg, everywhere. You've been a political consultant to the Republican Party. You admit that.
Yes, I do.
Proud of it.
Yes.
Even today, as the Republican
Yes.
Party has evolved dramatically?
Yes, very proud of
Because?
that. Well, look, I think Nancy Pelosi, as much as she's proud that she won the House, the Democrats did not do as well as they had hoped to do in the midterm elections.
They won a few seats, but go ahead.
They did. They did very well in the House. They did not do so well in the Senate.
That would be true.
And I'm always looking ahead to the next election person, because I believe you're only as good as your last election.
Sure.
So I'm already looking ahead to 2020. And you look at the landscape of 2020, the candidates that the Democrats are going to offer, I don't think they're going to be able to overcome the popularity of Donald Trump.
The popularity of Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Now, it depends upon which poll you're looking at.
Yep.
This is the end of 2018. We also don't know what's going to happen. Some investigations going on. I don't know what report comes out. Robert Mueller, we don't know. But the Donald Trump, quote, brand of republicanism and Jen Kerns, as Tom Kaine used to say in New Jersey, perfect together?
You'd be surprised. My background, I've been awfully tough on President Trump at
You sure
times. When he was a candidate, I was a writer for one of the popular debates, I think one of the most watched debates
we
in
know
American
about that.
TV history. And, you know, I've written for The Hill and some other publications and looking at his record when he was a candidate. I wasn't fond of the fact that he had actually contributed a lot to Democrats.
Lots.
For 30 years, I did a deep dive into his fundraising, and he actually donated quite significantly to Democrats more than Republicans.
Including Hillary Clinton. Didn't he say great things about Bill Clinton? Said he got a raw deal. Should never have gone through all that with Monica Lewinsky, whether people, whatever you think is your business. But he was like, hey, he's a great president. What happened? Where's that conversion? Did I miss it?
Well, no, I think President Trump holds that position still regarding himself. It doesn't matter what's happening with maybe Stormy Daniels' case. Doesn't matter what's happening with the other tapes that have come out. You mentioned Billy Bush in another segment. I think President Trump wants to be judged on the merits of his results. And I think he's done a tremendous job. If you look at 2020, I think a lot of people are going to cross that aisle in the same way that a lot of Reagan Democrats did. And this is hard to believe, I know, for Democrats. I have a lot of friends who are Democrats, lived and worked in California for 15 years. So you can imagine being a Republican there. I'm surrounded by Democrats, have a lot of friends that are liberals. But I do believe people are going to cross over for a couple of reasons. One, you've got
Cross over to vote for Trump?
Yes.
Including women?
Yes.
High percentage of women?
Yes.
So as you answer this question,
yes.
Sorry for interrupting. The comments about mocking women's appearance, about I can grab women however I choose to because I'm a celebrity, they like it. Calling women horrible names. Non-issue?
I wouldn't say a non-issue, but it's an issue that can be overlooked. And here's why. You look at the number of white suburban women voters that Democrats claim to be winning across the board. It's not necessarily true. Look at this Senate race even. He was a terrible candidate, but Judge Roy Moore in Alabama, all of those things came out about Judge Roy Moore, the yearbook, the 30 years ago, that big scandal, you remember.
Underage girls, if I'm not mistaken, whatever.
Nothing was proven, but
I agree.
It was white suburban women voters who voted for him.
And what does that say about those white suburban women voters?
Well, look, I'm not here to critique the women voters, but what I'm saying is the Democrats don't have a lock on the women voters in the way that they say they do. And I think women are going to care about a couple of things in 2020. They're going to care about the economy. They're going to care about the record stock market, which, by the way, Trump critics said would crash within 72 hours of his inauguration. It didn't. Within 72 hours, it actually went to record height. They're going to care about women's unemployment, which is the lowest point in 17 years. They also might care about African-American employment, which is the lowest in recorded history.
Do they care about GM leaving and thousands of jobs going with it?
They do, but look.
And saying it's connected to trade issues with Trump and other
It could be. There's actually been some interesting polling on the trade question. There is polling that shows nearly 2/3 of Americans actually are willing to take a short-term hit for long-term gain. They understand this, and they understand that the United States has been being abused and used by our trade partners for the better part of 20 years. This was through the globalist regime of the Bushes. This was through even, a little bit of Bill Clinton. And they don't like that globalist policy. So nearly 2/3 of Americans are saying, you know what? We're willing to take a short-term hit if we're a farmer, if we're a small business owner, if we're going to buy a car. We'll take that hit, as long as it's not sustained going into 2020, I think.
Real quick on this, don't be a political analyst for a second.
Yeah.
Just in terms of political discourse. You and I could talk forever about politics in a civil, respectful way. No name calling, no nothing, no judgments. Even if we agree, disagree, it's irrelevant. Even with public broadcasting, my job is not to have a point of view. The political discourse in our nation and where we are today, does it worry you? The nastiness,
absolutely.
The tone, the demeanor.
Absolutely.
To what degree has the president contributed to it, in your opinion?
Well, I think he's contributed to it, but I don't think he started it. If you look back,
absolutely.
You look at Barack Obama and Rahm Emanuel were the first ones to say they bring a gun to a knife fight. You look at Eric Holder, he got caught on tape this election season saying, when Republicans go low, we kick them. You look at Maxine Waters talking to people in her district. I'm sure it played well in her district, which I'm familiar with in California, but she wanted people to push back on people.
Sure.
Cory Booker wants you to get up in people's faces. This is a party, the Democratic Party, that has started a lot of the vitriol and the hate.
So you believe that it's proportional in terms of President Trump, the name calling, the demonizing, the attacks, and what you just described. You think, hey, listen, a pox on both of their houses. That's what you see it?
Correct. Look, I don't think it's helpful that President Trump says that a woman, if it's Stormy Daniels or anyone else, is a horse face. I don't think that was particularly helpful.
Sure.
Mostly from a PR perspective. He just had a great court victory. They threw her case out, and then he stepped on the headline by saying that. So on those grounds, I don't think it was necessary for him to do that. And look, I look at my own Twitter feed as a conservative female. A lot of death threats on there, a lot of physical threats.
There's no place for that. Seriously?
There's no place for that.
That's
absolutely.
So let's be clear. Whether it's Sarah Huckabee Sanders going to a restaurant, can't go with her husband, the Senate Majority Leader can't go with the family. Yep. None of that makes sense. Whether someone's a Democrat or Republican, that's just dead wrong on every level. And people who don't call it what it is are contributing to it.
Correct.
Jen Kerns, I want to thank you for joining us.
So
we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And come back anytime and keep sharing your perspectives, okay?
Okay.
This is One on One. I'm Steve Adubato. We'll be right back right after this.
One on One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One on One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by NJIT, RWJ Barnabas Health, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, Investors Bank, New Jersey Sharing Network, NJM Insurance Group, and by New Jersey Resources. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.